Hello, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Me and Greg just got through doing a live stream watch party while we talked about the sweet episode 1, season 3 of House of the Dragon. A little bit of a background really quick before we jump right into the episode is season 1 we all really enjoyed. We all loved it. Everybody gave it 8.5s, 9s, sometimes even probably 10 out of 10 episodes. Went into season 2. It was going along pretty good there at the end. It kind of let us down a little bit. Some of us anyway. I wasn't super let down because I understood what was going to happen and I understood why it was happening. But other people that don't care about that kind of stuff on the outside with the strikes and everything else going on is one of those things to where they were let down because like we really didn't get that big ending crescendo in season 2. Season 3 basically was promised to be like, hey, this is some of the stuff that would have happened at the end of season 2 if we would have been able to do it the way we wanted to. But you're going to get some of that, if not all of it, at the beginning of season 3, episode 1. So this wasn't going to be a episode that was going to be like, oh, okay, we're going to slowly work our way into that. Nope, we got right into the thick of things. How did you like that decision, Greg, of them just like really going right into it? Really started getting like, if not action at the very beginning, we started getting some of the beef, when it comes to like the characters interacting with each other, what's happening, the ramifications of what's going on with Daemon and Rhaenyra and the different parties in play.
Yeah, I thought you really wanted to, after I kind of was let down in season 2 a little bit, and I definitely wanted to start off strong with season 3, and I think you wanted to set the tone pretty good, and I think they did that. They explained a lot of things, they had the action that was necessary. And you can kind of cruise off in the next couple episodes a little bit and then hit another high again. And then you finish with a high. So it could be a little formula that they maybe go through. But definitely you want to start off episode 1. It was 72 minutes long, apparently, according to some text. So they definitely wanted to make sure that they got everybody locked in and hyped for season 3. So.
But yeah, so like we dive into it. We start getting, like I said, the characters being reintroduced and everything else. Some of that stuff may have been a little rushed at the beginning because of where they were trying to get. I didn't think it was that bad, though. I'm not going to like knock them in the score and everything else because of any of that, because I don't think any of that was like super bad. But like, we had Alicent get back to the castle and realize, oh, my son didn't leave. My crippled son has been burnt half to death. He left, but like the other one stayed because he was like, I got to protect the castle. And he was supposed to, the game plan was for him to go and join the King's Hand in a battle to bring out Daemon so they could try to like surprise him and take him out. And he's not going to follow that plan now, which then throws like a thing because Alicent was literally trying to give Rhaenyra the castle.
Yeah.
Like, and make it easy for him. And then we had kind of like a little bit of a switcheroo there. Did you like that part of the story? Or did you, what did you think about that section?
Yeah, I thought it was a good plan. We were trying to figure out if Rhaenyra was, if it was going to be an ambush, like her council, like Jace and a bunch of them have kind of said, this is too easy. Alicent wouldn't, you trust Alicent. Everybody was kind of hesitant. But Rhaenyra was like all in because I guess they have their relationship. So she kind of felt like she was telling the truth and stuff like that, which she ended up being telling the truth, right? We find out that she was telling the truth. And then not only was she going to take the castle, but she was ready to jump Vhagar as soon as he headed over there. She had 3 riders in place with 3 dragons ready to jump him and take him out. And she was going to kind of just try to win this right away and take out and be victorious in this battle. So we were trying to understand if it was impulsive for her to do this, but it ended up being the right play. But then it ended up backfiring because I always forget homie's name, Cyclops.
Aemond.
Aemond decided that he's decided to do his own thing, and now she's technically a little bit worried. She's worried about Cole in that situation going on because he's going to be left out to dry. And then obviously she's majorly worried about the oncoming ambush or the surprise that Vhagar is still there.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of Christian Cole in this episode. Yeah. He's one of the people that, like, obviously a lot of people would probably, I would assume, want to see his demise.
Yeah.
Kind of get his comeback. But a Game of Thrones fashion, they're not going to do that immediately. You're going to probably have to wait for that to happen as the show goes on, just like you had to wait for the Boltons and stuff like that in the original Game of Thrones. But yeah, like, what did you think? Did you think we should have got more Christian Cole? I mean, because he was basically absent. We had that one moment with him, and that was pretty much it.
I'm good without a lot of Christian Cole. You know, I think we had enough of him over enough of the other seasons. I mean, he was a good character. It was fun, but I'm okay establishing other things that are going on versus, you know, keeping him situation. I think he got enough, you know, show time to figure out what he's doing.
A little bit more on Alicent before we kind of leave like that section of it was, you know, Alicent's out here and she's basically like, to me at this point, she's not very good, obviously, either. There's not a lot of good guys to really root for her in the show, which I'm fine with as long as it's a good story that's being told because of like things happening. But I think Alicent's trying to like save the innocent part of her family, like as much as she can, like her daughter and stuff like that. And maybe because Home Dude's burnt, like maybe save him now because he's not probably going to be as bad as he could have been before and that kind of deal. So she basically maybe trying to save like whatever she can from her family, but but sacrifice some of it to keep it going. Like obviously like Aegon, whatever. So, I mean, what do you think about like Alicent, like that part, willing to sacrifice some of her family to keep some of it alive?
I mean, it's a kind of a shame in a little bit that she's already kind of throwing the towel, but it's kind of like, I understand, you know, like she's already kind of felt what's going to happen. You know, obviously Rhaenyra is another person that would probably feel, you know, the loss in war, possibly losing sons and stuff like that. And it seems like Alicent is checked out. She doesn't want any part of this. She wants to, like you said, maintain some of her family, and she's willing to sacrifice. So that's what, the heads of the families have to do. They have to make decisions like that. Are they all in, bloodthirsty, going to go see this to the end, or are they going to kind of try to find a way out of it? And obviously, she's trying to find a way out.
Yeah, one thing I like about doing this live, like we don't do all of them live, but we might start doing most of this, especially this show. We'll try to do it as often as we can, like after the show, according on to people's work schedules and stuff. Not a big enough channel for people's got to work some full-time jobs sometimes, but I do want to toss it out to the commenters here. We got West of Westeros. What a great episode. So he enjoyed the episode big time. Thank you, man, for being here and watching and stuff. Then we also, I didn't like Sheepstealer. This is from Damien. Didn't like Sheepstealer causing so much chaos, being more of a liability than help. And then we have, but an overall good episode. We also have Sheepstealer just isn't tameable. And we also have another question here. What's the long game for the story arc with Sheepstealer? Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. We'll actually jump into that. It sounds like everybody's talking about Sheepstealer. Very beginning of the episode, we see Sheepstealer the dragon. We also see, and I can't remember, she's like a lower character, like doesn't really play a lot in the actual story when it comes to the Westeros stuff like that. She's kind of just like having a bigger part to play because of how they're going to structure the show, I guess. But Sheepstealer's not supposed to be taken by the daughter of Daemon and stuff like that. Not supposed to be. That's not supposed to happen. It's happening. So she's out there with Sheepstealer trying to do the thing. Sheepstealer does allow her to ride her, but Sheepstealer is not one that listens very well. And we come to find that in the episode. And then he just causes destruction. So you have the Battle of the Gullet going on. We got the sand snakes and everybody fighting the what was it called, the triumvirate or whatever. And they got straight up into that battle, and then Sheepstealer comes out of nowhere, causes a bunch of chaos, and is out there setting fire to like even the sand snakes that were out there and stuff like that. What did you think about like that direction, having Sheepstealer do that? Because as far as I know, like in the story, that technically wasn't supposed to happen. So this is kind of like all new. Everything happened there.
I thought it was a good little wrinkle. I mean, it was interesting because we started off with like Sheepstealer just not interested. He looked like he was going to roll out and just kind of leave her hanging and not be down with her. Then he comes back, and we see the next part. He comes back with two sheep, I'm assuming. Yep. One for him, one for her. So you think, okay, they're all on board. This is going to be like like one of those heroic moments.
We're going to break bread together.
Yeah, we're going to be friends. It was almost like Charizard and Ash a little bit. It reminded me of Charizard and Ash, where Charizard just kind of does his own thing. Ash tries to be friends with him and tries to get him to tame him and try to battle with him. And Charizard just kind of does his own thing.
Right.
But you thought they were gonna fly in, save the day, everything. That was kind of like, just typical movie thing going on. But then it turns out I'm gonna do my own thing, dog. I'm just gonna burn everybody. It doesn't matter who it is, what side. I'm shooting. I'm gonna shoot. I'm not gonna evade. I'm just gonna be blasting everybody.
You interrupted me from stealing sheep, which is all I wanted to do, and now I've got to deal with this bunch of bull crap. Right? It's like, dude being like stubborn and like straight up. But yeah, maybe Sheepstealer isn't a tameable one. Like, it's not going to listen very much, obviously, all that kind of good stuff. And it's like, but I agree. Like, I don't know if I like it. It's a core known further episodes in where they truly take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do that and they do it well, I will be okay with it. I'm not a person that goes, oh, they changed something, automatically hate it. I'm going to give them a chance. Now, straight up, if you change it too much, especially there at the beginning, I'm going to start questioning it. I'm going to start paying attention to it more and more, if you know what I'm saying. So, that's a big deal right there to me. So now my eyes on it. I'm like, okay, I'm not completely dead set not liking this part of the show right now, and I'm not dead set not liking what just happened, as long as it becomes a cool story to tell in the middle of the story. Because like I said, they have the right, just because of the story that now it's told is so like incremental. It's like, oh, this person dies or this one thing happens, but it doesn't tell you how it happens. So they get to work around with everything and put like story into this, not like, the original Game of Thrones or even like the Dunk and Egg series that's more fleshed out. This was written basically like in a history book. So with that being said, it is one of those things. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I think this might be able to work, but I want to see how it works. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro, dude, I'm not 100% dead set on like, hey, if this is going to be the greatest thing ever. If it's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap. But yeah, let me see here. So because we got a couple of things I was going to bring up here. We just talked about what we thought about the long game story arc with Sheepstealer. Really don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with it. That's kind of
it's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough too, because now, like after Jace dies and everything, and now you just got Sheepstealer out there. Like, how are they going to like? Is he just going to be like, oh, they just flew off and that's the end of him, or until we see him next time, or they're going to have to deal with that whole thing and wrap it up, kind of, or move it along in a way, and it's going to be very interesting how they do that. I'm kind of like how are you gonna do that?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of things in this episode, like you do that first watch, like fresh watch, like we just did. There's a lot of things that I'm going to want to rewatch this episode before next week. I'm going to want to get into it, dive into it a little more, and see a couple of things, because there's no doubt you're going to miss some things on like a first fresh watch like we just did.
Yeah.
We also had the question, did I see Dragonstone on fire? That's what I was looking at. They turn around and look back, and there's like a castle. It kind of gets his attention, and then so yeah, it looked like maybe that was Dragonstone that was on fire. Because I can't think of anyone else or whatever castle it could have been besides like Dragonstone. And it did look like it was on fire, or maybe at least getting hit. Maybe it wasn't like on fire, burning like down kind of thing, but maybe it was on fire.
What's his place called? Because remember we heard.
No, wait, you're right. Yeah. So, wait, so that's Dragonstone, and they were at. Where is Rhaenyra? Is it Dragonstone that's at? There's one that's close by. Yeah, that's Dragonstone. I think that would have been his place. Yeah. Which shouldn't be Dragonstone, if I'm not mistaken. So no, that shouldn't be Dragonstone. God, why is the name of it? I'm dropping the name of it right now. Of the name of his place.
I'm trying to look it up.
But yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was like his place, because like Dragonstone is the one that's pretty close to King's Landing, and that's the one that Rhaenyra should be at. That one's not the one they were close to, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were close to like his home castle. But you know what? He could have been stationed closer to her to protect her or whatever. So it could have been that too. Got Westeros saying Jace doesn't die like that in the book. Yeah. It's
how did he
like
die?
Straight up 100%. Can't remember exactly how he died right off of that. But yeah, I don't think he dies exactly like that. Driftmark, west of Westeros. I think he is right. I think that was Driftmark.
Yeah.
Where they were at. So I think that's what you may have seen. That was a little bit getting like his home castle was getting kind of hit.
And that was her plan. She thought she was going to get his attention.
Yeah, west of Westeros right here was my favorite part. Though Winter Wolves' arrival. What did you think about that, Greg?
It was awesome because it was homie from Sons of Anarchy, Tommy Flanagan. I looked it up while I was watching it. He's the guy from Sons of Anarchy. He comes out. He's just like, "Hey, what's up?" He plays Roddy the Ruin, I think. Is the name of the character. He's head of the Winter Wolves, the grizzled veterans. Mm-hmm. And they came in. They rolled some heads and they were ready to go.
I loved it because, like I was telling you when we were watching the episode, is like these are some of the Northmen. They wasn't the best of the best. Mm-hmm. They sent some of their older guys, but it is the grizzled veterans. They don't give a shit. Like the dude literally, he's got the one guy's head that he cut off. Yeah. And he kind of throws it over there. But then he says, he doesn't say we're here to fight. He doesn't say we're here to survive. He says we're here to die for the queen. Mm-hmm. They know why they're sent. They have no aspirations of surviving. They don't give a crap. Mm-hmm. They know what their mission is. We're old as hell. We know why we're sent. We're here to die for the queen. I love that phrasing. I love the way it was done. That was another part of this show where the writers got that part right. Like, I don't know how much George R.R. Martin has. I know he was working with this show, but I think the showrunners and him aren't like on best of terms right now because of maybe some of the changes or something they wanted to do. But with that being said, it does sound like a Game of Thrones. Like they did a really good job of like capturing that aura. It's like, yeah, bro, we here to die for the queen.
I was like, all right, let's roll.
We also got West of Westeros here with another one. It says, also, did anyone see Antler Man when the dragonseeds were waiting to go to battle before the witch shows up and says, go to war? Do you remember seeing the Antler Man?
Briefly. Yeah, briefly.
Yeah. Don't know what that's going to symbolize. Probably going to know more of that when it comes down to it. Got some of the weird things that you'll see during the shows and stuff that's kind of like hinting towards something. And then it's like, oh, boom, 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 it clicks. But that's also one of the things I was talking about earlier about like going back and rewatching the episodes. Because like, bro, there was a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff happening. Action. If you got distracted for 1 second, like look to the right or look to the left and look back at the screen, there's all kinds of things you could have missed in this episode. This is definitely rewatchable doing. We also got West of Westeros throwing out a bunch of comments, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, also, Alicent not getting kissed in the mouth by her son. Oh, bro, that was if you watched our live reaction, if you would have been here, that was a lot of ooh,
Really, dog?
I was giving the stink face on the live reaction when we were watching the show. That was pretty crazy, man. Like, bro, that was like, we know this is the Game of Thrones. We know things like this happens. I literally said before he did it, that home dude's got some mommy issues, so he's probably going to listen to her, even though he knows he shouldn't. But he only truly listened to her when he got that like sweet kiss.
Yeah,
and I thought it was a perfect shot of over his shoulder.
Yeah,
and us seeing Alicent's like face, like her eyes and everything, like as it's happening, like. Oh man, I don't know if I could have seen the opposite shot where it shows over her shoulder.
Oh yeah,
you see his eyes of ecstasy. I didn't want to see that. Like at least they only showed us the side that didn't like what was going on. Like she just knew she's at a precipice of being like murdered here by her own son or something like that. She knows his ass is evil, so she's having to kind of go along with it, no matter how gross it is. But hey, it can't be Game of Thrones without a little bit of incest thrown in there. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. How did you what was your reaction?
I was like, thank God she didn't get into it or start giving some tongue or something. Like that would have been crazy. But yeah, it was like the same, you figure like, oh man, he's really going to go for this? Like homie, like there's plenty of other women. Like, what are we doing here? And so he goes in for the kiss and she's obviously mortified and scared and can't, just frozen. She really can't push him off. She really can't detest or anything. So she has to go through it. And she's like, please just leave. Just please leave
out of here, bro.
And die. Like get set up and die. Like
we got I'm just gonna shorten it up because long name
Driftmark.
here, but Visha here with Driftmark. That's whenever we were brain farting on the name of where it was at, Driftmark. So yeah, I think Driftmark was the one that was probably on fire, not Dragonstone. Because like that means like Rhaenyra's in the castle and stuff. They would have showed something in there. So that's why I think it's that, not like actual Dragonstone. West Arrow's talking about like he dies with arrows, not because of Sheepstealer. Yeah, exactly. See, that's some of the things that's going to happen. Like, so in that story, like I was telling you, Greg, because Greg doesn't read the stories.
Nope.
I've read most of the stuff, but like, I mean, it's hard to remember. I'm not like, I work a full-time job, everything. I do this stuff right here for fun. Thank all of you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're the first time here. But with that being said, Greg, yeah, he does die, but not this way. And that's one of the things I was talking about was like, they have a lot of areas to fill some stuff in or to change it a little bit, but technically still be true to the story. Because he did die with arrows tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about it since we're talking about it and pulling it up. What did you think about that? I think while we were still doing the live watch along, I think you were actually like already saying like, yeah, I want to talk about this on the post show, on the post credit. So go ahead, big dog. Like, what did you think about the way Jace went down tonight?
I mean, someone had to die, right? You were feeling like we were discussing, like, is this going to be an impulsive decision by him that he's going to regret and it's going to backfire, or is this somehow going to become victorious and work out? Game of Thrones probably going to not be the greatest outcome. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it really. So I was feeling like one of them was going to die. Jace, kind of disappointed the dragon took 2 harpoons. I was hoping maybe just one piece would take them out, but they went with 2, which, shout out to the dragon for taking 2. I thought they were going to clip him again. I thought Moon Dances would come and get him again and save him. Obviously, he did not. So then he started to submerge, die, and then Jace kind of comes up, and you're thinking, all right, so is Moon Dances going to pick him up? What's going to happen? And then he just takes arrows, and you're like, okay. And homie's dead.
It is one of those points that like Game of Thrones kind of always did. It's kind of the reason why I liked it. It's stuff from the very beginning was like these unanticipated moments.
Yeah.
And sometimes the fact that they aren't the biggest thing, like, so they kind of hinted at it that they got the arrows they can attach, and then they got them attached to like a heavy ass rock. They're trying to bring the dragon down. The first time it happens, obviously, the 2 dragons work together and they're able to like get him unattached and everything's fine for a little while until Sheepstealer comes in there and starts screwing stuff up. And then home dude gets shot again, right? So they kind of set that up. Okay, that's how it's working, and that's what's happening. This time he gets too close to the water, so the other dragon couldn't just like fly underneath and like kind of cut the rope or whatever that was attached to the big ass arrow, the tarpoon, whatever you want to call it, that got shot at him, and everything else. I thought that was set up nicely. It was kind of like foreshadowing, in the middle of the episode, what's going to happen towards the end of the episode. So that stuff's going down. He starts sinking and everything else. But it's kind of like almost anticlimactic, but sometimes it makes it even more climatic because he unhooks himself. You think he's going down with the dragon. He's able to unhook himself. He floats back up to the top. You think, oh, he might survive. Yeah. Just to get arrow shot through like his neck about 3 times. He got hit one in the back, like where your neck and back joins, and then one right through the throat, and then another one pretty close to the throat area. So he just gets murked right then. And it's kind of anticlimactic. It's these random guys. It wasn't like a big character in the story that does it. It's just these dudes on one of the boats that just happened to be by where he sunk at first.
Great aim.
And they just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, they had awesome aim. Where were they at the whole fight? They could take out anybody. They could have took out anybody with that aim. Like, to be honest with you, but yeah, it gets taken out. But sometimes that's the beauty of like Game of Thrones is like those moments where you're like, oh, okay, everything's going to possibly be okay a little bit, and then something like really bad or really good, according on which way you're looking at it, happens, and then you're just kind of like looking at yourself like, what the hell just happened? But that makes those moments even bigger sometimes. It's almost like because they make it so anticlimactic that it becomes bigger because it adds to the shock. It's like, oh, you're not anticipating something super bad and then it just happens. It's kind of like Ned Stark's head actually getting cut off in the original Game of Thrones. It's like, whoa, okay, that happened. Didn't think they were going to kill Sean Bean that fast, but that's how it goes. But yeah, I mean, did you have an ultimate problem or with that? Like,
I It's kind of like getting back into the Game of Thrones kind of whole thing. You know, like you said, sometimes it's unremarkable kind of deaths. Some of it is like super like deaths to take you out of like you don't even realize it's coming like that. So it's shocking because you're so used to like just being programmed on regular television, right?
Yeah.
Just like
That's kind of what I'm saying.
He's gonna die heroically, or he's gonna die saving somebody.
It makes it so shocking because there wasn't no big music playing.
Yeah,
he literally just bobs his head out of the water and immediately gets hit with an arrow. And then it's like I said, it's not even it's from some nobodies. It's not even from like main characters, which causes it crazy. But I can see where some people don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't mind it because it's one of the reasons why I love Game of Thrones is things like that can happen. But bro, I just remember when Prince Oberyn died in season 4 of like the
that's your guy, dude. That was your guy,
bro. Yeah, and it was like, man, I got so mad, dude. But then like I got over it and realized that's great storytelling.
Yeah,
I literally felt so much emotion when that was going on that I was just like couldn't contain myself. I almost broke at the time. I had like this been years ago. Obviously, I had like a Nook, the little thing that was like a book reader for like Barnes and Noble, and I almost threw that thing against the wall when I read like that happening in like the story because I couldn't wait for the show to catch up, and it was just crazy. And it's like, oh man, those type of moments was like unexpected. Like he's dominating the whole fight, and then all of a sudden he's dead. It's like, what the hell? Like those kind of situations.
But to be fair, he wasn't a big battle against a big character. I mean, a pretty.
Yeah. That one's a little more epic because of like the big battle, like you said. But like, there were times like where things would just happen, and you'd be like, "Oh shit! Oh damn! That person's taken out." Okay. Thought it was going to be a bigger deal, but I guess not. Westeros is coming back here with post your Discord or wherever you watch. Discord should be posted in the general stuff below. Our Discord's free to join. You can join anytime if you haven't already, and all that. But yeah, it should be posted in the description below the actual like for the YouTube channel. So if you want to join, anybody, it's free for anybody that wants to come in and do that thing. We do like watch, like we actually watched the show together before we actually did this. We did our live reaction on this particular broadcast, but but we actually watched it in Discord together. We also had, I like the way the show, the tension with the dragonseeds, you can tell they won't play together well, foretelling things to come. I agree. There's going to be a lot of chaos. It's kind of like, so we've been doing a lot of soccer watch-alongs on our sports channel. We got the sports channel. We got the entertainment channel over here that kind of works together. And a lot of World Cups happening right now. A lot of things happen that are crazy. Straight up crazy, like in soccer, where everything's formatted and everything's working like it's supposed to. But then all of a sudden, most of the time, you get the goals. Where when the chaos starts happening. And that's kind of what happened here. Both sides had a plan. Aegon had a plan. Rhaenyra had a plan. All that shit started falling apart because like people wasn't doing whatever they're supposed to. So you got Alicent screwing up Aegon's plan. Then you got the stuff happening between like because of communication and lack thereof. And then you had the weird like out of nowhere situation where you had the Sheepstealer stuff happening. So pretty cool. But all that's happening. So like what's going down? There's just going to be a lot of chaos. I think this whole season is going to have a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
A lot of death, a lot of characters that you might like or don't like that gets taken out and stuff as we go along. But it's going to be interesting to see how it happens and how they tell the story. Because a lot of people, like I'm pretty sure West of Westeros, this guy right here knows obviously a lot about Game of Thrones. I know a pretty good amount about Game of Thrones, but he might even know more than me. But the thing about that is it's going to be chaotic because like they're going to tell that story in a weird, different way than what you were probably expecting, which can be fun as long as it's done well. As long as it's done well.
That's all that matters, as long as you do it well.
Yeah, thanks West of Westeros for joining. I'm obviously sitting over here on the live broadcast, seeing the Discord messages pop up where he just joined the Discord. So yeah, be around here next week. Sometimes we might not be up because I work a full-time job. It's going on when I work. But if I am off the time the show's going on, we will be doing it the time that it actually releases. But yeah, so we had that going on. We also had the The funniest part was Larry Stone snitching the first 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. That's a moment we can talk about. We haven't actually discussed, but we had Aegon trying to basically escape. He's getting the hell out of there. Loras is trying to get him out of there. Old Clubfoot, that I called him, is out there doing his thing. Old Feet Man. Hey, got to do what you got to do sometimes. But yeah, he kind of like rats him out. But it's actually a good thing he does it. He's smart. He's playing the like Varys character from like the original Game of Thrones and stuff. He's basically playing Littlefinger in that kind of situation where they are super smart. They know how to run things and all that to a certain point. Like that doesn't mean they're perfect. And they're, we all know what happened to Littlefinger and Varys, to be honest with you. Yeah. Both of them ended up getting cut down in the original Game of Thrones. But he's that kind of style character. And we'll see, what happens. But, I think it was a smart move to do that. I think he saved their lives.
Yeah, he was just kind of like the king didn't want to go with the original plan, just kind of saying, hey, I pledge my allegiance to Rhaenyra. Let's get it on. Let's go ahead and move past all this blockade and stuff. So he blows that. So then on the fly, he comes up with that plan like, hey, we'll get captured. I'll convince them to keep us alive. That's all that matters. And then we'll go from there and we'll meet the queen. And we'll see how that all plays out. And I'm sure he has a more thought out process, or maybe he's winging it. I don't know, but it seems like the best plan to keep them alive at this point.
Yeah, I totally agree. We also just didn't like the fact that Sheepstealer was the main reason for Jace dying. Just didn't work for me. But we'll see how it goes. That's kind of what I am like. I don't know if I like it. It's one of those things to where it can be good, it can be bad. It's according on what happens in the next few episodes, like how it's explained, or how does things change from there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the sister feels like. Is she gonna blame? Are they gonna figure all that out, and are they gonna be able to talk about like, damn, my sister, got my dude killed.
Yeah, 100%. We got here a part that pissed me off was Rhaenyra being excited to tell her small council that Alicent was a plan. Shush. I would believe her. Really, Rhaenyra, she deserved to get locked up and losing her son. Yeah, she ended up doing that. She was made to be locked up. My thing with Rhaenyra is I get the son doing that. I understand. He's trying to save the queen, his mom. Yeah, like he thinks he's bad enough, or when I say bad, and not bad like as in bad, but he's bad. He thinks he's a little bit of a badass. Yeah. He's got a dragon and everything else. He's like unstoppable. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to save my mom. I'm going to save this whole thing and do it. And yeah, I think it was that part of it was okay, but yeah, she was jumping in there like what he just said. She jumps in there. She tells basically the whole plot, the whole story of Alicent and everything else to everybody. She probably should have kept that a little more secret or something like that, possibly, because you might have somebody that's on the other, doing double agent stuff and everything else. So I can see where that is. But and then like you said, she deserved to get locked up and losing her son. I don't know if she deserves to lose her son for that, but
that's another component of this whole thing, right? Is there's a lot of young people that have to play prominent roles in this whole thing, and they're all kind of thinking they're bigger than their britches and thinking that they have more understanding of these kind of older adults and kind of doing their own thing, and they're kind of can't be really controlled. And now you got to factor all of that kind of wild cardism into all this.
One thing I wanted to bring up was there was a decent amount of gore in this.
Yeah.
People getting hacked up, throats being slashed, blood, people dying in some creative ways on some of the ships and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm down for it. I'm going to ask you if you were down for it. I'm down for it. Right now, I literally have it's kind of hard to see because of what you want to call it, acting up. But anyway, I literally am wearing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt. I love horror. I love gore. So I was eating that up. I thought that was really cool. Are you cool with all the blood and guts?
Of course, man. I want to see it all. I want to see people getting sliced through, just dying, just big one-on-one battles, big group battles. Give it to me all. Give it to me all, and make it a spectacle. You can't. I don't know how you can just man, I don't really want that.
We got Albert over here saying Jace was no will with the dragon, has no will with the dragon. He got shot twice. Yeah, bro, home dude. Yeah. Can we learn a lesson? Can any of these people learn a lesson?
At least you got shot by the main chick the first time. The second one.
Yeah. Yeah, who? We don't even know who shot the second.
Yeah.
bruh, come on, man. He's like that dude that was on that soccer team when they were watching the other day, and I couldn't stand him because he was so sorry he would hit it 30 miles over the goal over here. I was like, bro, just quit shooting. Quit shooting. We got Vale was out there hoping. Yep, Vale was out there hoping. That's all. And then, like, if I'm not mistaken, that is the name of the girl that was on Sheepstealer. I think I might be wrong there, but I think that is some of the names, man, they got all kinds of names everywhere. But with that being said, if that is the case, yeah, she was out there hoping, and then when she realized she was cooking her like own, like basically like grandfather, because I think it was Daemon's daughter, like grandfathers like own men out there because they didn't know what the hell was going on. That was pretty crazy. And I knew it was coming like once she showed up, and like it looked like the dragon may not be paying attention to her.
I think she's the writer of Moondancer, to be honest.
Yeah.
So she was definitely out there hooping, getting buckets, drive-bys. She helped.
Western Westeros was like, I work full-time as well, just have no life outside of work, reading the Game of Thrones. Is a 39 years old, no kids, and just enjoy the basic life of nerdism. Hey, bro, I 100% agree. That's a good way to live. Like, if that's the way you want to live, like 100%. Most useless character, Lannisters and Sea Snakes Commander Lady. They showed up to season 3 to hang their hat up. Yep, that's it. That's all they did, bro. They was like, hey, let's get out of here. We're going to cut the check. We cutting the check. We're getting out of here. Look, I was a little worried. Not going to lie, because we talked about it during the actual live watch. I was a little worried from Homegirl because she ain't that big. I could see her going a little bit with the Sea Snake because he is older, maybe because he's having to fight a couple other dudes. He's a little more tired. She's younger, so maybe she can use her like dexterity, like all that kind of stuff to be able to win out in a fight. But whenever his son like jumps down there and her and him started scuffling, I was like, bro, there's no way they can have her like beating the crap out of him. There's no way this can happen. They didn't do it. He took her out. He started just shoving her head down in the water to drown her ass.
We didn't even talk about that part, like that whole section.
Yeah, like the whole plan. What did you think, real quick, while I look through another comment, but what did you think with the actual game plan of the Sea Snake going through that little strait that was in between the rocks because he knows the area, and then having her go through there as well?
Classic movie thing, home turf, you got to use it. You got to use it to your advantage. So he was able to know to terrain. And I was like, man, he's going to be able to take out at least one, maybe two. I don't know if he's going to take up all, because usually they have the bad guy somehow make it out, and then it becomes like a chase, and then they fight. So I was like, he's going to take two of them out. It's going to be one-on-one. We're going to get there. Smart move by him. They both had their separate plans, right? She was going to sack his place, his drift. Am I living? Not drift mark or drift?
Yeah, drift mark. Or drift mark. Actually, it's drift. Whatever. It's drift something.
Drift something. She was going to take that out, and I was going to get his attention, and she was going to play off of that, and he was going to play off. He knew her that she wanted him. Yeah. So she's going to follow me, and I'm going to lead her into a trap that I know the terrain, and I'm going to go ahead and take this all out, and it worked. It took two of them out, so.
Yeah.
Good play.
I thought it was okay. But then it turned out to be that they just, to me, it could have been just kind of like almost a waste. Like, that was the only thing in the episode that I thought that Maya could have been like cut. You could have did it a little differently, because you would get the same story if he was just like, oh, we're going to run off into this area. Like, I get why he would run off, but going through that little straight thing and everything, because like it ultimately doesn't work for her ship, and she still gets to like ram his ship. It's like, how is his ship, like, she's still having to go through that thing slow as all get out. When they get out, they should be able to take off and get the crap out of there. And my thing is like, you could have did that part of like the story, like maybe he's like dukes her by like doing something or moving to a certain place knowing that she's got a hard on for him and just wanting to like take him out and take that ship out or whatever. So he just kind of gets her out of the battle a little bit, and then they have their one-on-one fight. You could have did that without even throwing that in there to me. I don't know. True. But I'm not saying it was bad or anything. I'm just saying like that's probably like part of the most useless part of the.
It was predictable. We've seen that in other movies and stuff like that.
West to West Era said I'm going to be a good boy and not address spoilers because there was 2 moments that foreshadow book and plot line. I'm looking forward to the dragonseeds storyline and how that plays out. Me too, because like the dragonseeds, which are the 3 guys that are sitting over there that they were told to go over there and hide because they were going to wait to ambush Aegon and everything. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like where they go with that part of the story and how they do it, how they may make changes there and all that. Also, with part that made me sad is we got like 5 minutes of Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah,
was in the whole episode.
But he was putting in work. He was putting in work, though.
I agree because, like, bro, that was pretty cool. That was something that we kind of laughed at, their reactions and stuff. We talked about it a little earlier. But yeah, I will say, showing up at that battle, like even though we didn't get a full battle scene, sometimes the Game of Thrones is really cool with like showing you the aftermath, and the aftermath is like good enough, you know, in some cases. But the aftermath of that battle that Daemon was at, when he's just going through stabbing folks, that was most of them's already on the ground and everything, to get to that tree line was actually pretty cool. Like I thought that was a really well done section of the actual episode.
Yeah, we got
pour one out from Jace from Armada. Pour one out, baby. Pour one out.
RP Jace. We'll see you on the other side.
Yep. My rewatch number 1 want to see in pause. I want to see what Alicent actually said to her brother Armand Hightower. That in the Raven letter, I don't think it's what Armand said to his army. Actually, you might be right because like you probably could read that and see exactly what she said. But like he's acting like I knew that. I think he knows that it didn't actually come from Aegon.
Yeah,
I think that he knows it came from her. So I think that's where the little bit of a setup will be, is like him pretending like, you know, hey, like, you know, this is actually from Aegon. We got to listen to it, when he actually knows it's probably not. But it may have been a totally different. That
would be interesting plot twist if it was something like a coded letter somehow. She mentions like a code word that he knows it's her, or she just straight up says like, hey, it's me. But yeah, that would be an interesting plot twist. I personally think that he didn't know it was from the king. I mean, he knew it was not from the king because they foreshadowed him kind of playing with the seal. And but I like maybe like you said, like he just doesn't care. He just like, I'm gonna just whatever.
But yeah, and we also got my man over here talking about, please like that live stream, please, brother. Man, I enjoyed everybody coming in here. It actually like made it fun, like even more fun to me being able to interact with some of the chat and everything else. And we'll be trying to do it the same way. So like if you want to, you can join the Discord where we actually like watch together and everything else. So we have it timed up good. And we do a live reaction like we did tonight. And then we ended up doing like a review right afterwards that we will clip out. We'll clip out this last section, the last like 45 minutes or so, and make that its own like show and everything else. But all of you people that were here live, we'll be here next week. We'll try to put out a section to go out so that we can actually like send it out and be like, hey, bro, we're going to be out here. Because like I said, it's according to the work schedules and everything else, how all that is going, the timing. So we might have to do it like later that night that it comes out or something like that because of like having work. Happy Father's Day out there to everybody as well. And yeah, man, glad we found you, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you found us for sure.
Yeah, glad you found us. And one thing we'll let you know is Greg likes grilled cheeses.
Yeah,
actually, we all like grilled cheese. Who doesn't?
All your questions and your wealth of knowledge is really, be fun to play off of. So it really helps us.
Yes, because everybody's got blind spots. It's like according on what you are. Like if you join into and dive into a nerdum, it's so hard to be able to remember every little thing out there. It's like I've always said. I've always had problems with names. I'll watch something like literally right before like we come on air, and I'll forget a name because I'm just bad with names. But I can tell you everything that happened in the story. I can talk about everything that happened in the story. I can talk about all the stuff that happens in like pretty much Game of Thrones in certain areas, especially like the main show and the main story and stuff like that. I know some of the things from the books, from the original things and all that. But yeah, and I can talk about those all day. But sometimes like a name, maybe that's my old age, man.
Yeah,
that's my old ass age, bro. I got a little gray in the beard happening over here. But yeah, this was fun, man. So like we did it during our live stream. but not during this show. Let's end it. What did you think about the episode? Bring up anything that you last minute thing you want, Greg, and then we'll be heading out of here. But yeah, what's your final grade for the episode after we talked about it? And like anything that we might have missed that you wanted to bring up?
Man, I give it a good 8. I thought it was a good way to start off this whole season. Good action, good plot moving along, situations, got everybody a taste of everything, figuring out what's going on, got reintroduced in the world. I'm like you said, I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode because you kind of pick up on things you probably missed in the first watching because you're just like hyped and just kind of trying to figure out the main plots and everything like that. So I'm gonna have to definitely rewatch it. I don't know if it'll change my score, but it was definitely a solid 8 for me. Really good.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like right after we got through watching it, I said I gave it an 8, but I actually think it's an 8.5. I actually think it's good enough to be 8.5. I'll give it a half-point grade after we talked about it, thinking about things, seeing some of the fan reactions here in the chat and stuff as we talked about it live. Like, I actually do think it's a pretty damn good episode. There's only like 1 or 2 nitpicks that hits the score a little bit. Now, I will say this. I have said this before in a lot of other instances. When we did like another show or whatever, this is all dependent. It's an 8.5 now. But if this storyline with Sheepstealer ends up being kind of shit, right? If it's straight up garbage doo-doo at the end of it, that's going to affect the score of this episode. Because if that story like is kind of crap and there wasn't a good reason for them to just throw Sheepstealer in here messing stuff up, that can drag down the score. Not saying it would drag it down to like, oh, this is unwatchable bullcrap, but instead of being an 8.5, I might come back and be like, man, this episode was like a 7.5, a 7 or whatever, because of the way the story is like setting up. But 10 out of 10, he says that's his grade. And also, last minute thing, Rhaenyra about to be pissed. Targaryen mad mode activated. That's going to be the most exciting thing I think for the next episode is when she finds out her other son is now dead.
Yeah, she about to go.
Like she's about to go stupid. Like it's about to get dumb, and that's going to be a fun part of what we're about to see. You saw some of it already happening in this episode when she's just like cutting up a random dress, like just stabbing the dress over and over and over and ripping it apart.
She knows. I think she knows.
Yeah, she's already starting to like lose it. She's already starting to lose it. And it's like she feels like she's being disrespected. Like, we'll go ahead and end with this last little thing because this is something we didn't talk a lot about. So I'm glad Westeros brought this up. But like in her story, she's like thinking she's being like sometimes I think disrespected. It's like it doesn't even have to be a woman in this case, right? It could be about anybody. Anybody that feels like they never were given the respect and they finally get like to be the boss, right? And then they act. It's like a dude that was made fun of his whole life and then he becomes a police officer, and because he's got the badge and power now, he wants to like power walk around everything and pretend like, oh yeah, I'm a badass now because like now I got the power, and they kind of like act weird about it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing could be said for her, right? Because in this universe, being a woman's tougher, obviously, or whatever, because of the time frame that it's supposed to be in. And I think she's trying to like overcompensate because she's like, oh, I'm being disrespected. Like I'm supposed to be a king and basically have the power of a king and all this stuff. And it's like, well, like me and you talked about in the show when we were watching it was like, hey, you do know that like kings wouldn't be at the front of the lines. They wouldn't go jump on their dragon. The actual king is not going to go jump on the dragon just to go do something most of the time. They only do that in a very desperate situation when the rest of their plan's falling apart and they have no other choice. But usually kings sit back. They play the pawns. They're the king. The king don't get moved on the chessboard first. Everything else has got to be moved around it first so it can even move. And that's one of the things that I think I see from it. I mean, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, it does have a lot to do. She's been fighting this whole thing to be recognized, right? Being the heir.
I don't think she has to. I think she has to. That's my point is I think she already has that power. It's like the cop situation. The analogy was the cop's got the power now. You don't have to act like, a jackass or whatever, right? You don't have to abuse that power now. Just like she's got the power now. She does have respect. There's people out there willingly dying for her She doesn't have to worry about that part of it anymore. They do respect her. If they didn't respect her, they wouldn't be out there fighting for her and dying. Like, you don't have to keep trying to make up that part. You don't have to try to keep wondering or arguing about that point of it. You've got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are sacrificing themselves for you.
Yeah, I just think it's just a male, like it just in that time period, like in anything, like.
No, I get why her character. What I'm saying is I'm talking about like in real life situations, but like in her, I get why her character is doing it, right?
Yeah,
it's understandable because of the time frame and like how the world's kind of set up.
Yeah, they wanted Daemon. They looked to Daemon. They were trying to find a replacement. Any kind of male would have done early on in her career. Then now if Jace if it's a man, if it's the dad, does Jace do the same thing? Does he just take off and say I want to save the dad, or just accepts that?
Good point. Maybe the Kingsguard doesn't listen to Jace. If it was I mean that could be true. You could be right. I mean we don't know until like that situation were to happen, because I do think Jace gives a very good argument, even if it would have been a guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're supposed to save the king.
Yeah.
Like even from himself. Like say a king was making that. So it's according on how the story would shape out. But I see your point. I see your point, but I will counter, like it could have worked the same way even if it was a guy. Like I could easily see the story does that. And just like we'll get out of here with this. I keep saying we're going to get out of here. And then but every time.
Something to talk about.
Yeah. Every time Targaryen is born, people flip that coin. May it be peace, could be horror. You never know. I totally 100% agree. And the story says that, and it does that beautifully. One thing, you might be pissed at George R.R. Martin for not finishing stories, but guess what? He can write them. You can't complain about how he puts things together and how he sets characters up.
And I'm sure that's pretty same will be pretty much with the show. Flip a coin, what you're going to get in these shows.
Totally agree. But hey, man, thank you guys, everybody that was here. Thank you guys for joining us live. But we're getting out of here, and we'll post this part if you didn't get to see all of our live reaction after we got through seeing it and all that kind of good stuff. We are going to be posting it as a separate video on the channel that you can go back and watch. But definitely, man, bro, so hyped for y'all coming in tonight and being with us as we're live. But until next time, peace. Ride that dragon. Ride that dragon hard.
In reverse.
Yeah.